Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Since this month is my best friend's birth month, we're going to be talking about best friends today. How I met some of mine and some of the things we do for each other and just all about best friends. Some of my closest friends I met through church. A couple I met through when I worked at different places. Met a couple of my closest friends through a health class am taking. And then just different connections like prayer groups or mission groups. And so we're going to talk about those each individual things today. Church friends are the best because they not only are your great friends, they pray with you, and they have that special connection with you that nobody else does. But one of my closest friends I met at church years ago, we can't ever remember how we specifically met, like where and all that, other than we obviously met at church. But we just know that the instant we met, we were instant friends. And I think the biggest thing that drew us together is all the silly things. We're so silly that I thought were silly, she thought was silly, and we just had that instant connection. Like that has to at least be over 20 years ago, and we just had that special connection. So I appreciate her. She actually was the one that gave me this little gem. Look how cute that is. We'll talk about special gifts later, but isn't that cute? So church friends are definitely great. Then we have friends, or a friend that I met when I was working at a school. I was a bilingual aide, and she came in as a maternity sub for the teacher that I was originally helping. And we hit it off because we were helping each other with the kiddos and just finding our way in the school system. And it was just instant also. Just quirky. She's quirky, I guess I'm quirky, and we hit it off. And neither one of us work in the system anymore. We haven't for years, but we found a mutual talent that we both love, and we have both been able to enjoy together, which is photography. And she is also one of my closest friends. I just love her. She's so funny and creative, and just gets me when I'm in that silly mood, and she gets in that silly mood. And we actually have been sending each other encouraging dance videos. Shh, nobody else knows about that. But they're actually Christian songs that we'll play, and we either worship to or we dance to, and we send them to each other's encouragement, and that's our special connection. Obviously y'all know now, but you won't ever see them. So anyway, there's that great connection. After my kids all left, I was on a health journey, which if you've seen my other videos, there's one about healthy living, and I talk about the healthy living program that I started years ago. Well, I met and have those same friends still also, and that was about 10 or 15 years ago, who helped me with my health journey. Again, they not only helped me with healthy eating habits, but also just healthy living. And we're not just in a class together. We have just partnered and bonded together to just purpose to try and live a healthy lifestyle. And that connection for us, along with prayer and choosing to do our best and doing what God has asked us to do, has had us a great connection also. And I know I can count on them anytime. Like I said, I started about 10-15 years ago, and I had to actually kind of take a break this past year. And even though it was sad, it just didn't work out the day that they changed it to, which is great. It worked out for everybody else. But it was a different season for me because I've been busy with kiddos and family and different things and pursuing new things that I feel like the Lord has me on. But we are still close, and I still meet up with them maybe once a month, which it's about time to meet up again. And so there's those connections. I've also met friends through prayer groups. I have one friend who she just sticks out to me when I was thinking about my different friends, and we don't actually ever hang out. She's come to a couple of my girls' get-togethers, but really we don't hang out. Like, we don't even get to visit too much. I don't even know how to describe our relationship other than we hit it off in a prayer group. We just connected, I guess, in that prayer group, and I know she's somebody I can count on. I know she loves me, she cares for me. I know I can call on her at any time. We don't talk and text all the time, but I see her at church all the time, and she has the best hugs. And I know I consider her one of my closest friends. Actually, I have a couple women like that in my life that are my go-to prayer people that I don't talk to a lot. There's another lady I think of offhand who I met years ago also at a church. And I just love her. I respect her as an elder, not only in church, but just in life. She's an awesome lady who knows how to pray, and I just love her like family. And so we have those connections. The last connection I want to talk about is a group that I go on a mission trip with, and it's the same thing. Some of those ladies I don't get to see often at all. One of the real close friends I consider, she lives about 2 hours away, but I know I can call her. I know I can text her at any moment, and she's there for me. I trust her. I love her, and those are great connections also. My mission ladies, my mission group is awesome, especially when we're on a mission trip. You kind of have to trust each other. You look out for one another. You pray, obviously, for one another. But you get to really know people when, obviously, you travel, but on a mission trip. And so that's another way I met some of my friends. I wanted to talk about some of the things that we do as best friends for each other. We talked about encouraging one another and praying for one another. There's also praying for not only one another, but one another's loved ones, being involved in their loved ones' lives, celebrating with them for their loved ones, and just different ways that we can show that we're friends and that mean a lot. Understanding what makes them happy, just some of those little things, which is kind of like this little girl I was talking about earlier. It's fall time. It was my birthday last month, and like, this is one of those little things that just she knew would make me so happy. I hope she got herself one, because this would make her happy also. We just love fluffy, frilly stuff, and the more you get to know your friends and what they love, it's not about the big things. It's about all the little things. This is another little thing a different friend got me. Is it not the cutest thing? I mean, a cactus with the pink flower. Like, there's nothing dramatic or expensive or all about that, but she knew that would make me happy, and it did, and it still does. I sit it right here with my other happy things, and anytime I walk through this room or look over, I think about them, or I think about them thinking about me, and it's about those little things that make each other happy. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive or grand or anything like that. It's just those little things. Obviously, spending time with one another. We can get so busy with our families or just everyday life, our work, or things that we have to do. It's very important to make time for your friends, because we get so busy, we get so caught up in everything else that time is just as important as a gift or anything else you could do for your friend. Sometimes just listening, you got to be able to listen, be honest. You definitely want to be honest with your best friend. If you can't be honest with your best friend, are they really your best friend? And we'll maybe talk about that later, because honesty looks different, I think, for different people. I always want to be honest, but with love. It's hard for me when people say, hey, what do you think about my hair? Or what do you think about, what I'm wearing or whatever? Because to me, if you like it, if that's what you choose to do, I'm going to support you. If you want your hair long, if you want it short, like, you do you. I've heard of friends that say, well, my real friends will tell me the truth. Like, does this really look good or not? I understand that there's a balance, but I would never be hurtful or mean or rude in telling somebody something honestly. I think once you reach that best friend stage, you can honestly say things in love without hurting them or them taking offense to it, because they know that what you're saying to them is out of love. I'm trying to think of an example when I had to say something tough to a friend, and I tried to say it in a loving way, and I think that's what I did. I think I said, I love you, but you need to think about this way. I actually think our pastor said it best this past week during our sermon. I was laughing because I'm thinking, how do you know what my video was going to be about this week? But he was talking about doing things in love, and he said something about somebody had asked him about, I think it was a jacket or something, a horse. It was about a horse. He knew that they'd paid too much money for the horse, but he asked for his opinion because he knows a lot about horses, so he wanted his opinion, and he wasn't going to be rude about it. He wasn't going to be like, man, you spent too much money. Why did you do that? He just complimented the horse. And so you can find ways to still be honest and be full of love. I think we're all different in those areas. I'm just going to encourage you to make sure it is in love, and have that relationship where it can be in love. I wanted to talk about some actual ways that I show my friends that I care about them, just like intangible ways. Like we talked about praying for our friends. Sometimes if I'm praying for my friends and I get a scripture that I start praying for them, I will text them, say, hey, I was praying for you. This scripture came to mind. I hope it helps you. And then maybe even text out the prayer that I was praying for them. I also love to write letters, like old school letters. That's just me. I'll get note cards, and I love to write letters and mail them. And I love to hear back. I don't do it to get the love or the comments back, but I love that when they receive them, they talk about how much it meant to them. Some of people keep them because it means so much to them, whatever I wrote. Again, sometimes it may be a scripture I write to them or just an encouragement. Sometimes they just need, a random letter in the mail that says, hey, you're doing great. What's going on in their life? Are they, having a struggle, and you just send them a letter and say, hey, I'm praying for you. Just to get a random letter in the mail these days apparently is very special. I love doing it. I've started doing it when we travel, where I get postcards wherever I'm at. And if I'm somewhere and it makes me think of something of one of my friends, whether it's, something I ate, it's like, oh, I know my friend would like this, or, I saw something that reminded me of them. I'll write that in my postcard and be like, hey, I saw this on my trip and I thought about you. I just want to let you know I was thinking about you. And I'll send it wherever I'm at. And that's been the newest thing, which has been great. So I've learned to bring stamps with me wherever I go. Something else little I like to do with the cards is I like to put stickers on them. Stickers are so inexpensive. I'll just, again, sometimes they're themed, could be somebody's birthday, so you put balloon stickers. If it's just thinking of you, then, there's all kinds of stickers you can add. Another way to be a great friend is to attend any celebrations or events that they have or they invite you to or be a part of, but also their loved ones. Say if they're loved ones, if you're close enough to them and you know their loved ones as well. I say that because most of my friends that have kids are my kids' age, and so we've all kind of raised our kids together. And so I feel like their kids are my kids also. And so if they have a graduation or a birthday or, some kind of special event, I don't get to always make all of them. So I'll try to send a gift. If I can't send a gift, a card, something. I don't always get to, again, because life gets busy, but just some things to remember and think about, not just for your friends, but their loved ones also. That means a lot. I know people have done that with me and my kiddos and my family, even my grandbabies. Like, they'll give me things like, I saw this, thought about your grandbaby, and I'm like, wow, that was so nice. We already talked about gifts. Again, just little random gifts. Again, when I travel, sometimes I may find something when we're on a trip and it makes me think of them, a magnet, a pencil, a pen. Doesn't have to be anything expensive. My friends have done it for me also. They brought me stickers. This last trip, my friend brought me this shell fossil type thing from when she went to the beach. And now every time I look at it, I think about how she was thinking about me on her trip, which is something so tiny and doesn't seem very important, but it is to me anyway. Maybe I'm just too sentimental. And just want to expound on the quality time of listening, really listening when, especially if they're having a hard time, or if they're in a situation where they need comforting, to really just listen, like stop and listen, and then offer input if they want. Again, your relationships will all be different and they all look different. Mine do. But just be sensitive to those little things for each person. I think each relationship's different also. So they all require different things. And on that note, I wanted to also say, I know friendships are different. Like, I have my really close friends who I can call, text anytime, any part of the day if I need anything, or just they're there. I have other friends that I don't get to see all the time, but when we catch up, it's like, we've been, talking all along. And then there's other friends that I just see every once in a while. We catch up when we can. But they're all different, and that's okay. So just appreciate all of them and where they are in your life. And sometimes maybe one is more in your life in a season, and then later another one is, and that's okay too. The biggest thing to me is, in a friendship, is comfort and honesty and love, and just being myself. One of my closest friends, we've always said, thank you for letting me be me. And that has been the greatest thing for me, and obviously for her, because we can be silly, we can be grumpy, we can be sad, we can be, whatever emotion or mood we're in, and I can handle her, if she's like that, and she can handle me. And over the years, we've learned to know each other when, we're having a bad day, or does she really want my opinion right now, or she just wants me to pray, or, you just kind of get to know each other at a certain point. But the biggest thing is definitely to feel comfortable and loved and accepted as you are in a friendship. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be a struggle. You shouldn't have to be hiding things from your friends, or emotions or feelings. So yeah, just some more things on being a friend. I'm going to say in conclusion, if you want to be a best friend, if you want to have a best friend or a friend, be what you want to your friends, what you would want them to be to you. If you want them to listen, listen. If you want to be yourself, be yourself. And going back to being yourself. If you can't be yourself with your friends, who else are you going to be yourself with? So, and if you're yourself and that doesn't work out with those friends, then that's okay. They're not meant to be in your life. So yeah, if in conclusion, maybe some of these things will help, like I said, or be encouraged. as you go about with your friendships. Make sure you're a blessing to them, and you be the friend you want them to be to you. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like the video. Again, I would love to hear your comments on your friendships, how you met your friends, any silly stories, or any encouragement you would have, or ideas or things that you do with your friends. I would love to hear that in the comments. Don't forget to share the video. Maybe share it with your best friend and say, hey, I was thinking about you when I saw this video. And then subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. So you're supposed to get an email, I believe, alert, but also you'll know, when the next one comes up. My videos are just about everyday life, on things that I've learned, encouragement. They're always uplifting. And so hopefully you get some insight or some encouragement as you watch and listen. Have a great rest of the day.